Hey everybody, welcome back. You're watching Kimmer's Knacks, and today we are going to be making a Mythical Creatures tumbler. So today we're going to be working with a 30-ounce modern curve. I primed the entire cup black, and I just did an ink swirl only at the bottom of the cup in some blues and grays. It turned out really well. I want it to appear like the bottom of a waterfall, which you'll end up understanding once we get the decals on. But it turned out really nice. There's some great marbling towards the bottom, and I feel that it's going to really go along well with the decals that I have for this cup. We're going to have a couple different types of decals. This one is a water slide decal. You've seen this in previous videos where we use the water to apply it to the cup. These other decals of the Mythical Creatures were made with printable vinyl and then cut out using the Cricut. Those are going to be placed and spread around the circumference of the cup. So here what I'm going to do is, there's some fingerprints which happen because it already has its first layer of epoxy on it. So I want to go through the cup and clean those up so that we can start applying the decals. Here I'm marking off where I want that water slide decal to begin and end. The reason why I chose this spot on the cup is because at the bottom where the rest of the waterfall is actually going to land, it just makes sense logistically on the cup. So I placed a little piece of tape to remind myself where that is actually going to go. So here once again I've got my bowl of water for the water slide. You want this to be as close to room temperature as possible. Here's my water slide decal. And again, this is printed on some paper that is printable on, I use a laser printer. And once it's printed out, I can then either cut it out by hand or use the Cricut to cut out the specific areas. But I wanted a little bit less than what the image was, so I hand cut this one. We're going to place it in the water, and again, we're going to let it sit for approximately 30 seconds to 45 seconds before we begin placing it on the cup. Okay, I've now got my cup placed. I have my marker from the masking tape that I placed on the inside of the cup to give me an idea of where I want the decal to go. And you can see the water slide in the water. It's getting very flexible, which means it's pretty much ready to be applied. Remember to always line your cup or rub your cup down with the water so that you can shift the decal around if needed once you get it on the cup. Just helps out. This one's going to be a very easy water slide to put on because it doesn't have a lot of sharp edges. It's one big solid piece, so it'll be easier to remove the backing from the water slide on this particular decal. Once again, you just gently pull the backing from the water slide and it adheres to the cup. And you see that big wrinkle there, and because I have the water on there and because the decal's wet, I can easily shift it around and remove those bubbles and wrinkles. So just sit back and watch. I'm going to be working on this for a few seconds. Now that I've got the water slide on the cup, now I can start working with the printable vinyl decals that I made. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go one by one and place them where I think they would look best on the cup and go from there. So sit back and watch. At this point, I've gotten a majority of the decals on the cup. They're looking really, really good. And what you're going to see now is me transition into a process where I'm going to smooth out the borders of a lot of the images. And I'm going to be doing this using some acrylic paint, as you can see here, and the little jars of mica powders that I'm showing you there. And I've got them in various different colors, so I'm just going to use my best judgments as I go through the cup and touch up some spots that I want to add some extra flair to. So sit back and watch. So I've got this border of the image of the waterfall, and I want to try and really just soften that sharp edge. So what I did was I laid down and trimmed the edge of the image with some black acrylic paint mixed with black mica to give it a slight shimmer. And now what I'm doing is I'm adding in some gold mica powder to bring it into the background of the cup and like I said, just soften the overall edge of it. And it's turning out really, really well. And you'll see as I move forward in the video, I'm going to take some of the other colors and highlight the different mythical creatures that are on the cup with the same process to just bring them out a little bit and make the images pop against the black background. I'm getting closer to finishing placing the mica powders around the images throughout the cup. And while they may look a little diluted or even very matte around the images as you see me spin the cup around, once it's put underneath epoxy or there's an epoxy layer placed on top of the cup, these mica powders are really going to shine. They're really going to pop against that black background, and it's really going to bring the entire cup together as a whole theme. So I cannot wait to see what this cup is going to look like underneath some coats of epoxy. So the next couple shots that you'll see in the next part of the video will be just that. I cannot wait. And here we have the finalized cup. This is after about 4 coats of epoxy. The cup turned out splendidly. You can see that the micas really began to pop. Once the epoxy was coated on it, it no longer looks dull. The colors just really all came together amazing. Here are some quick still shots of the various sides of the cup so that you can see a little bit closer some of the detail that went into creating it. Again, very, very pleased. I'm so appreciative of the customer for allowing me free reign to really make a truly one-of-a-kind cup. Thanks for watching Kimmer's Knacks. Be sure to tune into my Facebook page. I am live every night except for Tuesdays at 8:30 Central. Be sure to like and follow the page, and don't forget to follow the YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody.